So we're group 2. If you recall, we were working on the pet sitting app for Codera. The entire purpose of this app is to connect both pet owners and pet sitters. So if someone needs their pet to be watched for a period of time, then this is the purpose of the app. We're going to start with our code coverage.
So this is our coverage for the front end. We're sitting at roughly 62% line coverage. We're actively improving the coverage on the front end, and the back end we're currently sitting at 82% coverage. And we just have a few classes left that we need to make sure are properly unit tested. Okay, and we're gonna move on to showing you guys the website.
Yeah, so starting with the basic functionality of being able to log in and register as a new user. So say we create a new user here. And we're still working on implementing notifications, so within the next iteration we should be able to notify that the user has been registered. At the moment, there is no notification for that. And once the user has been logged in, they're taken to their dashboard, where a lot of their important information in regards to the jobs that they're submitting or have accepted are going to be present. Since this is a new user, they don't have any. If we go over to their profile, we can see they have a bio here and a tab on if people were to review their profile. From here, we can see their personal information. As a new user, there won't be any. We can then add new information. Dr. Chang will be pleased that zip code, if it does have validation on it.
Yay.
Now these changes are reflected on their profile. And a user can occupy 2 states of being as either a client or a sitter, noted here. And as a client, one of the things you may want to do is search for a sitter that you have. In this instance, you can search by their username and be able to view the profile of a sitter that you're searching. As a user, you're going to need pets to be sat. So in this instance, create.
I'm sorry, can you go over the search again? How do I search for a sitter?
Right, so under the services dropdown, you can go to the Find Sitter tab, and in here, in the search bar, you can search by their username. Right now, it'll list.
But how would I know the username though?
If the list is displayed here of all active users, and if
But I could
I
have hundreds, if not thousands, of users.
that could be a potential concern, and at that point, we would need a better way of displaying or being able.
Oh,
to
I'm sorry.
filter.
It doesn't seem to make sense actually.
We do have plans to add additional filtering for sitters, such as by rating and perhaps also by similar location. So that is something that.
In fact, that would be the primary way to search, isn't it? I don't want to travel 200 miles to find a sitter.
Yes. Okay.
Right, so once you have added a pet, you can also edit that pet's information. You're also able to delete any pet information that you want from your profile. So once you've established yourself as a user and you've set up your profile information, one thing you're going to want to do is post a job for someone to take care of your pet. So you would come to the job listings page and you would create a request for a sitter to watch your pet. Once you've submitted a job, you can see it posted below amongst the list of other jobs posted by other clients. And so the next thing you want to do is, if you're a sitter, you want to be able to accept jobs posted by clients. So if you're a sitter and you go to the job listings page, you can see that there's amazing line. Actually, let me switch to a sitter account. Yeah, so now you can see the job that was posted by the new user account we made, and we can request to take that job as a sitter.
Question, can you relate the search for the sitter with posting the job and accepting the job?
Can you clarify?
Can you relate searching for a sitter to posting a job by the user? How are those two related? A user can search for a sitter,
Yes,
a user can post a job.
okay. Oh,
How
so,
are those two related?
so, if we go over to the dashboard on, for a client, no. So we can see that, like, on the previous account, that was a sitter account, that requested that job, we can see that they're now listed in this drop down here, and these are the job applicants, and we can either view their profile and see if that is an acceptable sitter for us. So if we like the rating that they have, we can go over and select that sitter for the job, and that job gets moved over to their upcoming jobs. As for searching for the sitter, we are going to have to expand more with it in terms of filtering.
So is the search for a sitter connected to post a job in any way?
Not at the moment.
No, it isn't.
Would it ever be connected?
I mean,
Yeah.
so the search for a sitter page is mostly to allow you to filter a sitter based on rating or location, and that's its own separate entity. Whereas if you're on the job listing page, we haven't implemented this, but this is something that we're going to implement, like a filter to search by either like dates or location as well, or by the user.
So let me step back. I'm a user, I have a pet. I went and searched for a user. I found John Doe, who is suitable to sit my pet. What do I do with that information now?
Well, it would first, the way our program works is it would first require that we have a job initially set up for that, for a user to be added to that job. We can't go immediately and search for a sitter and add them to a job. The sitter first has to apply for a job, and then as a client we can either choose to accept one applicant or another applicant, and that applicant will be then selected as the active sitter for that job.
Right, but it's still not connecting in my mind. So there are sitters registered in the application. I have a pet. I've registered as a user to ask for somebody to sit my pet. So I log in, I search, I found John Doe. What do I do with the information that I know that there is John Doe out there?
So at the moment, the sponsors didn't request for us to be able to ask for a sitter's services directly. Our initial deliverable was to set up a way to post job posting as a client. What you're describing would sound like the next piece of the functionality to deliver.
No, but my question is, why did we even implement search? Because it seems to be totally meaningless in my opinion. Because I search for somebody, I know John Doe exists, but I can't do anything about it. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now.
One way you could use it is if you wanted to, another way to post a review of a sitter you've had. So if you remember the username or the location, and you find the sitter through the search feature, you can post a review on them that way, as well
Gotcha.
as in the dashboard.
Okay, so the search feature is more to really locate a person, so you could possibly do a rating on them.
At the moment, yes.
But if I had posted a sitting, and if John Doe accepted to sit the pet, then can't I just go to the job and rate the user then?
Yes, you could. In your dashboards, you have your completed jobs or actions in which the sitters have watched your pets, and it can be there that you can leave a review on them.
So I would have 0 reasons to search for the user to rate them in that case. Would that be true?
Yes, primarily this is what's being used at the moment. It is
Okay.
correct.
Would you recommend that the search feature be removed in that case?
It would seem that it's possible that we might remove it. We'll take it into consideration.
Okay. Well, the point I'm getting to is when we implement features, we need to question the use case. Why are we doing things is important? If I don't understand why I'm doing things, I'm wasting my company's money doing it, isn't it? So as a developer, it's my responsibility to question the benefit of a particular feature. If there is no value to what I create, I have wasted my client's time creating it and my company's money creating it.
Right. Okay.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Right, we understand that. I think it was more just of like, we were out of the scope of our basic functionality and requirements, so, we just were over ambitious and figured that, if we could implement like searching a sitter, then later we would have a way of communicating between the sitter and the client. But like I said, that was ambitious.
Yeah, I think it's valid feedback that in its current state, it's not as useful as it could be. I think we were establishing it as well as our sponsors expecting it in the anticipation of either additional functionality that goes along with it. But in its current state, I think you have a valid point. That being said, that covers our application's functionality. If we'll go over our backlog, the next iteration. So as far as front end is concerned, with the feedback you've just given, we do need to speak again with our sponsors on the search functionality. But beyond that, we still need to add validation to the reviewing process. We also need to have a way to differentiate between requested or occupied jobs in the job listings page, as well as some visual improvements to the dashboard. And our sponsors also asked for a bonus functionality, and our plan for that is to be able to upload profile pictures for each user and display that wherever they're used. And Alex will go over the back-end backlog.
Tasks we've completed this iteration include, previously, the way our backend was set up, frontend would need to send all of the edited fields that you saw Grant was changing in the demo. You would need to send all of those fields, whether they were modified or not, in the JSON. but we've changed it such that only modified fields can be sent and only those will be recognized and put in. We've also made sure that, we've also added a feature where after the client posts a job, then the sitters can apply for that job. Previously, if they requested that job, they would automatically be set as the active sitter, but we want to give the client the choice of picking between sitters. What we have left to do is, as Grant explained, go over some features that we want to keep in, and also create classes that we would use for different objects in our code. So we could decrease code duplication and have the classes be reusable. And that's it.